Wait, you're telling me I never ranked the Overture areas? Oh, we need to fix that. I'm Billy S, and today I'm ranking the areas of the Lies of P Overture DLC, because damn, I really thought I did this video, but it turns out I hadn't. A quick note, the Eventide Hotel Krat hub won't be in the ranking, but it would be at the bottom of the list anyway. It's a smaller version of the regular hub, not as much to see and do aside from shopping with Klaus or sitting with Spring. The best cat in the whole wide world, yes you are, Spring, yes you are, you're so cute! So, let's jump in with... At number 5, we have the Ancient Ruins Excavation Site, the third area of the DLC. This is a twisting series of caverns that stretch far below Hotel Krat to the ocean floor, and acts as an expansion on the concepts of the base game's Relic of Trismegistus zone. It's like a giant mining operation, and the puppets you face here all fit into those roles pretty nicely. You'll find yourself looping around as you explore, dropping down holes to find hidden caverns, and slowly meandering your way through, across rickety bridges and across cliffside passages. The enemies are actually kinda brutal. Lots of ranged opponents who can snipe you from afar, a few sneaky bombs that blow up when they get close to you, and the grinder puppets from the base game are so much more dangerous here, like this one on the rope bridge. There's also a fine side quest that has you following someone inhabiting various Crusher puppets, which has a rather harrowing ending, as the NPC turns out to be a brain in a vat. Grim stuff. The alchemists are still just as messed up as ever, it seems. There's a mini-boss encounter against a grand mining machine that I found to be extremely tedious to deal with. You need to get around its sides to deal proper damage, but I found its movements to be really overwhelming. You also get a rematch down a secret passage against the baby form of the green monster of the swamp, which was a nice touch. It explains why it hates us so much in the present. And then in the harbour below, there are a couple of enemies, but the focus of this part of the zone is more on the ancient ruins and how you transfer from alchemist stations to some sort of ritual site. I like the touch of the broken tram that leads to the Rose Estate, which forces us to find an alternate route, and the area ending with the anguished guardian of the ruins makes for a great climax. I find this level a bit bland though. Mining zones have never been that fun for me, and when the rest of the settings of the DLC are more inspired, like the zoo, the facility, and the shipwrecks, it's no surprise that for me, the most generic area design comes in last place. At number 4, we have the Zelator Underground Facility, the second area of the DLC that sees us exploring an alchemist base beneath Hotel Krat. The facility is cold and dismal. There is a frigid air that is threatening to freeze the entire populace because the heating system is broken, and this is blocking us from being able to access the main exit. So we have to head through a series of hallways, stairwells, pipes, and a prison complex while carving through all the carcasses that have been kept on ice here. What I love about the Zelator facility is just how well it shows the alchemists are awful people. They have been performing experiments that veer on torture for years, and this facility, below what is going to become a beacon landmark in Hotel Krat, really shows the underbelly of the city. We thought things were bad in the base game, but some of these carcass designs are pure nightmare fuel. We also get a little vertical shaft to drop down to the Veronique boss fight, one of the best NPC battles in the game. And after fixing the cooling system, we gain access to multiple new areas of the facility for both progress and optional goodies. Tons of little interactions with enemies, though this room near the end of the area drove me up the wall clearing it out, because the enemies are really good at hitting you from afar, they aggro very easily, and if you die, you have to clear all these enemies out over and over again. My favourite portion of the level easily is the cell block. I remember not finding the shortcut on my playthrough until my chat told me about the elevator here, so I was on adrenaline trying to survive the Gatling gun carcass at the very start that just fires bullets of goop, followed by the many enemies on the lower and upper floors, leading to multiple little mini-boss encounters as I tried to clear my way through the cells. It's really well designed, and this whole area gave Resident Evil lab vibes if the labs weren't as sterile. You're definitely getting new forms of tetanus just from being here. But the claustrophobic corridors aren't my cup of tea, I'll admit, and I think the other areas of the DLC are just so special in their design that Zelator lands down here by default. Fighting the two-faced overseer with the tracker was sick though. At number 3, and this is a major step up, we have the Archon Fleet Shipwrecks, the 4th area of the DLC. When we found out Overture was in development, we were shown concept art of Carlo out at sea, crossing shipwrecks, so I was really looking forward to seeing this area in-game, and it surpassed my expectations. What I love about the shipwrecks is how there are multiple different ways to go from very early on, and progression isn't always obvious. You have to learn to navigate through the wrecks of the ships, slaying alchemists and mutated sharks as you go. One path will take you across a ship's deck to a cave that I thought was progress, only for it to be an optional path leading to the Romeo King of Puppets crown cosmetic. I love that even exists in this DLC. Crossing a broken mast to make progress before the Lumacchio fight, I almost missed this on my first playthrough, and then having to avoid cannon fire in the latter half as I made my way towards the shore and the ruined fishing hamlet beyond was a fantastic challenge. Sometimes these games are afraid to use a gimmick, or use them half-heartedly. I think about the profaned flame in the profaned capital of Dark Souls 3, and how it fires at you like twice before you're done with that gimmick. The shipwrecks here allowed the cannon fire to last for a while, really stretching the time between checkpoints so you can earn your victory. Heck, shout out even to the little portion before the wrecks on the cliffside after Leia's little camp. Can't forget some of the fun enemy placement at the very start. The use of the village really elevates this zone though. The stories of the people that lived there are clear as day, from the lighthouse keeper who got locked in his own safe room, to the story of Salo and his wife. I thought she left him in terms of their relationship. Turns out she left him in terms of being dead. That one's on me. The giant shark encounter made me jump out of my skin, can't forget that. And just take the area in next time you play. The Aurora Borealis, localized here entirely within my kitchen, the ice crags, the broken ships, it's just a beautiful snapshot of carnage once the flames have died down. You work for your ability to progress here, and I think it's one of the best areas in the game. Would you guys want me to revisit my original Lies of P area ranking a few years later while incorporating these Overture areas into it? Let me know down below, and why not parry that subscribe button too? We're trying to reach 40,000 subscribers, and if you hit that bell, you'll know when I post more Lies of P videos and other Soulsborne Souls-like stuff too. At number 2, we have the Rose Estate, the final area of the DLC, which encompasses the forest path from the fishing hamlet all the way to the battle with Arlecchino in the gardens. And what a roller coaster this entire area is from start to finish. We begin with a forest path where we battle against carcasses alongside Leia to reach the estate itself. The creatures here are dangerous, infected, and deadly, but with the legendary Stalker by your side, breaking up the aggro, you can both fight your way through the mosh. I love the bridge where Leia decides to flex and destroy the big enemy with her ultimate ability, showcasing just how powerful she truly is in comparison to the player. Then you have the slow walk up to the snow-covered estate where all seems calm until you enter and discover Romeo's arms. It's a horrifying start to the estate, and the more you explore, the more you discover that everything has gone to the dogs. There has been a massacre here, and nobody has been spared. The adults have become carcasses, and the kids, nowhere to be seen. But given the Rose Estate was where many of Krat's people fled for refuge, yeah, those people are dead. The second half of the Rose Estate is a more traditional level. You have to work your way through a series of basement floors, including discovering the other side of the alchemist's tram you saw at the excavation site, and then you have to get through a Resident Evil-ass library while moving bookcases that ultimately sees you facing the last few enemies before the final boss. I appreciate them adding a little bit of level design in the latter half of the area just to give you some more challenge before the final fight, but I think on my replays, my thoughts are on how I can get through those rooms quickly just to get to Arlecchino. Maybe going full story with barely any level design would have served this area better. The revelations about the plot in the Rose Estate are fascinating for lore buffs, and I know I'm not the only person who found the imagery striking here. Standing in the room of children's beds was genuinely tough. And ending this emotional swell of an area with the Arlecchino fight, where you battle alongside Leia to overcome his wrath, is the stuff I play these games for. I will always go to bat for an area that presents a beautiful story, or that has purposeful lore implications, because those are the levels that make me feel things. But nothing was quite as good here as the initial first impressions of Overture. At number 1, we have Krat Zoo, the first area of the DLC, and what an introduction, oh my god! First off, the entire zoo motif is fantastic because it allowed the developers to come up with some truly unique and horrifying enemy designs that you won't get anywhere else. This is full Resident Evil if it was set in a jungle levels of horror. The gorillas and the wolves are disturbing, but it's the type of enemy you can handle. Wolves are like dogs, we've killed dogs. Gorillas technically are humanoid, we've killed humans. But nothing could have prepared me for the midpoint where I started getting attacked by kangaroo carcasses. The normal ones are terrifying enough. The advanced kangaroos? I was genuinely disturbed my entire time fighting them. They are disgusting, but their moveset is so fun. And the elephants! The first one in the Hall of Adventure is fine, a bit big, a bit scary, but not too difficult to beat. The second one though, when it sprouts a gigantic neck and crocodilian maw, spewing frostbite and looking like a fucked up giraffe? Utter insanity. Just going through all of the exhibits here is a lot of fun. From the various indoor animal attractions, to the broken cages, to the savannah where the monkeys are throwing rocks at you, all leading to the boss fight against the tyrannical predator. The fun doesn't stop there though. The carcasses take a backseat and puppets become the focus as you enter Markiona's greenhouse, having to navigate through this maze of walkways as you climb to her personal chambers, avoiding her feminine guards and their Chun-Li style leggies. It's a nice change of pace from the horrific animals. And after a peak boss fight against Markiona, you see Arlecchino's art piece and proceed to the best part of the zoo in my opinion, the carnival. It's such a short zone, but feels like a nice reward for beating the main part of the level. Yeah, you can rush through, kill the puppets and get to the tram to the hotel, or you can take the time to play the different games, killing a torch-throwing puppet, or playing whack-a-mole. There are multiple stands for throwing items at targets. You can play on the Ferris wheel, or get decked by the horses on the carousel. You get a dance emote, giving Fontana stomping on Minty Fresh's dreams from UK vs. the World 3 realness. That's a reference for the gays. We're introduced to the hidden Black Rabbit Brotherhood rooms that give you access to their outfits, and you get to help Rosora get her shoes back. If you didn't help Rosora, you are a monster. I just love how expansive the zoo is. 3 distinct segments, 4 if you include the snowy forest leading up to it, each completely unique and yet distinctly Lies of P. This is in contention for the best area of the game full stop, and if you want me to do a top 10 Lies of P areas just in general, I will figure that out, let me know down below, and be sure to parry that subscribe button. We're trying to reach 40,000 subscribers, we're less than 1,000 away, I know we can do it. Shout out to my YouTube channel members for supporting me for another month, thank you so much, you guys are amazing. You get shout outs in the description at the end of videos as well, and you have access to my Dark Souls 3 and Dark Souls 2 Soul Level 1 runs. It's very kind, thank you so much. If you guys want to follow me on social medias, I have a Blue Sky, I have a Twitch, and I stream here on YouTube multiple times a week. I might be streaming right now, go take a look, and I'll see you next time. Adios!